Welcome back to the channel. Today we're having a little bit of a garage update because there has been a lot going on, a lot gone wrong with everything. So that's going to include an update on the Triumph Stag behind me, my MGB, Porsche 944, my MX5. But first, let's talk about the reason why there's been a slight lack of videos recently. About 3 months ago, I was bumped into in the rear end of this van. There's some damage here to the back bumper and rear slam panel, as well as the back doors, which I have had a go at popping out. They do seem to have actually straightened up quite well. There's also some hidden damage at the front. Since the bump, it has been going into limp mode, throwing a low boost code. We've got no leaks or tears in any of the boost pipes. The intercooler isn't cracked, it is all fine. But I did find some sludge lingering around the intake manifold. These are a plastic manifold. This bolts to the front of the head, and obviously being plastic, it needs some sort of seal between there. It has rubber seals and they are all cracked to hell. Quite a few cracks around all them, so believed to be that is where our boost leak is coming from. So changing these over. I then took the doors off, ready to get painted. Machine polish basically the whole van. It's pretty much ready for sale now. Another car you may have seen is my Porsche 944. I restored this over a few months, doing loads of suspension work, giving it a respray, mechanical work such as the cam belt, water pump, several sensors that tend to go wrong on these has all been sorted on the car. Now it should be a good runner, it should have been sold by now, but unfortunately the markets have dipped quite a lot. I've then been driving it in and out the garage, and then now it won't start. I'm not 100% sure why it won't start, but I think it could be a sticky injector. Basically, when you're driving it in and out the garage, if you didn't get it up to temperature, then it would start misfiring quite badly until you gave it a good run. So I think one of the injectors is sticking open. When you pull the plugs, 2 front plugs tend to be a lot wetter than the rest of them, so I think our issue is the hair, but I've just left it outside for now while I've been doing bits on the other cars, trying to push things further forward. This is my MGB. It's probably the nicest car I own, but because I own it, it's obviously not without its problems. Since getting the car on the road, its twin SUs have caused nothing but problems. They're constantly falling out of tune and delivering really bad MPGs. Circa 12 MPG, which is absolutely awful even for one of these. In all honesty, carbs are one of the few things that I'm not actually comfortable with when working on my older cars, and I tend to leave carbs down to my mechanic. And even he says they're in need of a rebuild and they are an absolute nightmare to set up apparently. Hence I have actually been having a go at these myself, and the car is actually currently on sawn for the first time in 5 years. I did actually do a full breakdown video of what this car cost to restore. I can link that down here now if you are interested in watching that. But yeah, other than the carbs, it's actually a pretty good car. The only thing I actually still need to do is I need to reinstate the rear anti-roll bar. This car is lowered on lowering springs and lowering blocks at the back. The plan is, with it being lower, I'm going to reinstate the rubber bumper rear anti-roll bar that fits on the back of this, and then I want to put a thicker front anti-roll bar on the front just to make it a little bit stiffer, because this car just tends to roll quite a bit in the corners. But yeah, other than that, it isn't too bad. And then this is my MX5. You might have seen this in a video where I went through everything that was wrong with it, mainly rust and stuff like that. This car's actually been pretty good, other than a slight idle issue. When it's up to temp, it starts idling erratically around 2000 RPM, which I just started doing in the last couple of weeks. But it is absolutely fine when it's cold. Not a clue what's wrong with it. I might get around to sorting it at some point. But yeah, I've got a hell of a lot going on with all these cars. And onto the Stag. I don't want to go into too much detail with this because I've actually been filming quite a lot of content on the Stag. I've obviously moved it back over onto the other side of the garage. I've got the windscreen panel mostly tacked in. It's been done properly. I've pulled the 2 skins apart, put the outer skin of the Doda panel against the original inner skin of my car, so it's not a cut and shut repair. It's a good solid repair. The T-bar along the top came out while I was doing the repair. I've put it back on now and it fits nice and square. I've measured both sides, I've put the other door on, and yeah, it's pretty much there. I've also been mocking up the donut front wings down here. Basically just been trying to get these roughly fit in. I know it's in 2/2, but this skin was attached to the front end that I brought off the donor car. So I just want to make sure the windscreen panel is actually roughly in the right spot, even though at the top it lines up, so I want to make sure it's right at the bottom. Then when I know it's roughly right, I can hack off the front end, or my original front end that's absolutely shot, and then we can get our new one on as well. And then obviously in the background here is my new donor front end. It was actually a lot worse than I thought, this panel. You might see this is crust that's all over it, that's why it's turned black. But the top outer skin panel is completely gone. It looked really solid on the car, but then it was actually made of filler. All the seam lines between this front panel and the wings were made out of filler. But luckily for me, when I bought the car, it came with a new panel anyway. So that is easily solved. But yeah, the only other things to mention are obviously I've taken off the old wings there, ready to be attached to the other wings there. What I'll be doing with this panel is I need to take out the 2 front cross members, and then the front bulkhead that includes the battery tray also needs to go, because again it needs to be a proper repair. You need to unpick all the panels for it to be a good solid repair. I can't just hack the front of mine off and weld the front of this on, because that would be a cut and shut. I don't know if it's illegal that, but it's definitely not the right way to do it. So it is actually taking a lot longer than I thought, all this. If I bought brand new panels, it'd probably be done by now. The new front end panel like this are over £2,000. I think I paid 200 quid for this, so I don't mind playing around with it, unpicking, drilling out all the original spot welds. If we look at this panel close up, you know, the front valance is in really good nick. It has definitely been changed. Not very well either. The blobs of weld have just gone over the top. It's not been drilled at all like you would expect. Someone's literally just put tacks over the top. I'm actually very surprised that the chrome trims fitted properly on this, but they seem to. So yeah, that's a very quick update as to what's been going on. I'm hoping that I can get the front end on the Stag, and then I can get a video out hopefully early Jan, somewhere around there. As I say, I'm just going to get this front end on the car, and then that'll be the video done with the windscreen panel on the front end, and then obviously finish off the wings, getting the front wings sorted and on in another video. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this small little update video, don't forget to press that like button, comment and subscribe. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.